Well, welcome to the Star Within art show opening party. To be honest, we actually did this last night for the first time. And it was so fun. We did it live and there was a live audience, well, live virtual audience. And it was so fun. We had a couple of funny things happen, but it was great. And we get to the end of the event and I forgot to press record. And so I didn't record the whole thing and I wanted you to have a copy of it. So I decided I would wake up early and get this thing recorded so that you could enjoy it wherever you are at because you signed up and you wanted to see it. So here I am for you doing this again. And there's no live audience, but that's okay. I'll answer as many questions as I can and feel free to email me when you have questions. So, that's kind of my personality. I just like to dive in the deep end. And this was the first time I did Facebook or anything live. And it was kind of ambitious. Most people usually start with like a 5-minute Facebook live video or something when nobody's actually watching. Not me. I just did a whole production, but that's okay. What's funny is the very first Thanksgiving turkey I ever cooked was not to feed 5 people, it was to feed 40 people. And I was like, I got this, I'll make it work, I hope. Let's just not screw it up because 40 people hungry on Thanksgiving not getting turkey is not a good thing. But anyway, so we're doing this again and I'm excited to be here with you. So thanks for signing in and watching, and we're gonna get started on explaining about all of these images behind me, the Star Within series. But to get started, we're going to watch a video that my friend Drew Kaufman made for me he put all my images with my editing in a video. And before we start that, I just want you to know how these images came about. So I have been doing this about 4 years or so. My process looks something like this. Usually usually like a picture will just sort of drop in my mind, or I'll have a concept that I want to create a picture about. So I'll get the final picture, the concept in my mind, and then I go and look for the props, and then I go look for the wardrobe, and then I go look for the location, and I find a model, unless I'm using myself. I like to do a lot of self-portraits. And then I go on location, and I photograph all the different components, all the different elements while I'm out there on location, bring them back home into my computer, and edit them all together in Photoshop. So the editing part, that's where the video is going to start. So I just wanted you to know that's kind of where we're at right now when we show the video. So here we go. Let me just share the screen. And we will watch it there. Well, welcome back. Okay, what'd you think? Did you like the video? I loved it. It was so special to have that made for me. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the concept, the star within. I wanted to see a glimpse of what it looked like when somebody becomes aware of who they are, you know, becomes aware of their identity, because when you start to realize who you are, all of a sudden potential starts to open up, impact starts to open up, passion starts to open up, hope and excitement starts to open up, and it affects how we carry ourselves. And when we live aware of our identity, aware that there actually is something really brilliant and really something of value and worth inside of us, not just on our outside or not just what we do, but just who we are as a being, I think there's something really beautiful and powerful to that. So I wanted to create a series that demonstrates that the star within and what happens when somebody is woke to their identity as a person. You'll see I chose glitter to be a theme that was threaded throughout each picture. The reason I chose glitter is not only is it just a very happy, excited, passionate medium, but there's also, you know, the nature of glitter is to spread, and it's to get into little nooks and crannies, and it's to just be small but go out into those little places. And it spreads in nature. You share it, it rubs off on people, and it follows them home, and reminds you of the time that you were around glitter or wonder, where did that come from? It just appears sometimes. And I think often that's the similar nature when you recognize the star within yourself, that it has a contagious nature. It has a spreadability, so to say. It has the ability to stick with people and follow them home and inspire them to find that own thing that is special within them and their own value within them. So that's why I use glitter and confetti to tie in each of these images in the series. So we're going to start talking about the single images. Before we get started, I created a special party favor for this event because I wanted to give you something special to remember it by. Usually party favors are given at the end, you know, when you're like walking out the door, but I wanted to mention it now so to best help you. So I rarely, if you guys have been following me a while, I rarely ever give discounts on my art. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel quite right to me. Unless there's a really special occasion, then sometimes I'll do that. And I wanted to do that here for this show, and for showing up to my first live virtual art show. For every 2 prints that you purchase from this series of these 7 of images, any size, for every 2 that you purchase, then you get to pick one open edition print on my website out for free. So you buy 2, you get 1 free. Buy 2 of these guys, any size, and then you get 1, it doesn't have to be from here, but any on my site free. So now you can see why I wanted to give you your party favor now before you left. So as we're talking about it, you can see and hear which pictures resonates with your heart and which pictures you want. So I will be sending, or you actually probably already got that email, but I will send it again in the email that you get this link in. That was kind of a weird circle, but there you go. All right, so to start this series off, we are going to, have to bear with me, I have to do a little bit of screen sharing here. I should have brought a second monitor to set up, but we're gonna be going back and forth, so I hope that works out. But I do have my prints here to show you. We're gonna start with this image called The Star Within the Launch. This is called The Star Within the Launch. I'm gonna show you where it started. think. Oh, there we go. So this is the first picture that I took. This is my friend Becca, who is amazing and was a perfect model for this. So she was jumping around on this trampoline out at a park. It was kind of funny that day. There were all these field trips of little kids. You don't see them in the picture here, but on the other side of us, there were all these little kids around looking up at this beautiful girl in this beautiful gown jumping on a trampoline in the middle of a park. It was funny. So the star within the launch. This is about, I'm gonna bring you back here with me. Hi. Okay, so the star within the launch celebrates stepping out. It celebrates taking risks, finding that courage to leap into something that is bigger than yourself. Because what happens when you become aware of that star that is within you, you feel compelled to live bigger and brighter and to go after something that is a dream, and that is, you start to follow your passion and your purpose. And this celebrates the stepping out part, and just recognizes the fun and the thrill and the excitement of stepping into a new thing. There's that one right there. Okay, we're going to go on to the next image, and now we're going to talk about this beautiful image here. I'll share it with you on the screen, and I'll come back. This one. This is called the star within the stride. And here is the before picture. This is me running actually while I was out on this park in my city in Reading. This is at the top of a really, really big hill. And I was out there for about 45 minutes, and there was this runner, this guy who was running up and down these hills he probably was up and down there probably 4 or 5 times. This is a big hill. He was doing this intense hill workout. And I just thought it was so funny that he was there for the shoot, because this picture is all about tenacity. It's about trying. It's about the process of going after something. And that's exactly what he was doing, is he was showing up for himself. He was out there. Nobody probably told him to go do this hard workout. Nobody probably knew he was there, knew that he was doing it except for him. But it was building not just physical strength and stamina. It was building internal strength and discipline and character and tenacity, ability to go, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, just something that it builds strength of character in you. And I think that so relates to this picture, and what I want to celebrate here is that when we recognize the star within us, we want to show up every day. And so this is about showing up and taking those daily little steps, one after another, the big ones, the hard ones, the sloppy ones. You may not know where you're going or how you're going to get there, but this print celebrates that the beauty isn't in the end result, it's in the process. It's in the trying. I think we can overlook our efforts so quickly and so easily and get fixated on conquering that mountain or finishing the race or the end result, that we miss the beauty that is hidden in the daily steps, that showing up every day, that trying, that working towards something, not just finishing something. So that picture, again, is called the stride within the launch. I hope you like that. Okay, now we're going to go on to another one. Let me share the screen again. This one is called the star within the strength. And here is what we started with. I had 3 lovely friends come out and help me. I flipped her around upside down. Oh, we had a really good time out there with that trampoline. Got great friends. So this is where we ended up. The star within the strength. And this print celebrates community. It celebrates being there for one another. It celebrates holding one another up when you need support. Community is so healthy because it helps you find balance. It helps you to bring yourself to a place and also be there for somebody else when they're bringing themselves to the place. You know, there's a lot of exchange and interaction in community. And that's what I really wanted to highlight here, was that community, it keeps you grounded while you're launching. And so it's, you know, you can't, it focuses that the start within is not all about you. It's about giving and lending your strength to others and being there for them and asking for their strength when you need it. So it's not, this recognizing the star within is not meant to be a solo game. Even though a lot of my pictures are of a singular model, I wanted to bring in the element that we actually really need people to support us and to strengthen us and to just run with. And so that's what this picture, the star within the strength, communicates. Okay, so now we are moving right along. The next picture we are going to talk about is the star within the soul. I'll show it to you right here. The star within the soul. Here it is. This is a very personal image for me. It was covered in glitter. This was early one morning, and there was actually kind of a big neighborhood road right on the other side of me, like behind me where I was photographing. And it was early one morning, you know, like when everybody's going to school, and there I am out there in this big red dress covered in glitter, and everybody was honking. It was great. Okay, so this is how we ended up, the star within the soul. Let me come back here. And this one's a little personal for me because it's about my faith. It's about, I am a Christian, and sometimes for us Christians it feels like, you know, we just feel excited to want to love with all that we are. I mean, I think that's a human trait in general, but with Christians, we want to love God with our whole heart, with our whole mind, with all our thoughts, with our intentions, with our words, with our being, with our relationships, with our, you know, presence in life. We just want to say, respond to his love that he loved us with. And so this is about just pouring back out that love and worship unto him. But I think it connects on a human level also, because we as humans, like, one of our biggest needs and desires is to be loved and known and understood. And this is about, and that takes a lot of vulnerability to open yourself up, to be seen and heard and known and understood. And this picture is like, okay, here I am. This is what I got. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. And, you know, for the highs and the lows, this is me. Like, will you know me? Will you see me? Will you accept me? And so this celebrates that humanity, that part of humanity that wants to just be connected to people and initiating that connection. Star within the soul. Okay, so moving right on to the next picture that I have for you is, and I know you guys have seen this one before because this is the one that I launched with. Okay, this one is called The Star Within the Roar, like I said. Here's where we started. And that is where we finished. And this picture celebrates, it highlights the power that comes out of a person who has shut off their inner critic. You know, clearly this picture is about the voice. Come back to you. Clearly this picture is about the voice, and it's about, what did I just do with my, I just lost it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Clearly this picture is about the voice, but when I say voice, I'm not just simply talking about the words that are coming out of our mouth, you know, what we're saying and speaking, although that's a big part of our voice. I'm saying our voice represents what's coming out of our life, what we're putting out into the world, what people, what we're communicating and what people are understanding from not just our words, but our actions and our thoughts and our beliefs. So this picture actually is of my friend Lindsay, And she happens to be an author and a speaker who just wrote a book called Letting Love In. I didn't really put the two and two together when I picked her as my model, but it was perfect coincidence because this really is part of her life message, is how do you shut off that inner critic and let yourself be heard and let yourself be seen and known. Have you guys ever had that nightmare where like you're asleep and you're dreaming and you're trying to yell for help, like a scary nightmare, and you're yelling but like your voice is silent and nobody can hear you and nobody's coming and you're just like, but it's silent and nobody's coming. It's an awful feeling. You try to yell as loud as you can but nothing's coming out. I've had that nightmare and it's awful, and that's not at all what our voice is. I think for so long in my life, I struggled with knowing the value of my voice and believing that there was something worth saying, that I had something to give and share to the world. And when you're awakened to that reality or that truth that what you have is valuable, then you want to put it out there. You want to turn up the volume in your life and be heard, not necessarily for attention, but just for the sake of being known and believing that your opinion matters and that your thoughts have significance. So this picture celebrates shutting up that inner critic so that you can do that, because inner critic is just a thief who wants to gag you and bury you. So we have to know how to recognize when that's the inner critic telling us to quench our voice. Okay, so the next picture that I have to share is this one. It is called, let me show it up on the screen. It's called The Star Within the Crushing. The Star Within the Crushing. This is where it started. And this is how we ended. And this picture is designed to remind people, remind the viewer that even in really hard times where it feels like you're being pressed and there's just tension and it's hard, that something beautiful will inevitably come out of that place. So, personally, I just had a very hard season. Last year was a really hard year for me internally for whatever reason. Kind of felt like I was under this really big heavy wave and I couldn't get out. Like I had to just let the wave push me out. It's really weird. But I find that often, not just in that place, but in other places in my own life and in those people that I know also and people that I look up to, it's often those really hard seasons, those places of intense pressure, that the most beautiful things come out of that place. You know, some of the most remarkable people have gone through and endured through crazy just pressure and circumstance in their life. And I think that shows that even though things are broken or breaking or painful or hard or intense, that they can and they will eventually, they're designed to come out on the other side as something beautiful. I believe that. I was just hearing about this book by this man named T.D. Jakes. I think his name is Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he wrote a book called The Crushing. And he gives some examples that resonated a lot. You know, when an eagle or a little eaglet is about to fly, the mom actually pushes the baby eaglet out of the nest before they actually know if the eaglet can fly. So the first time it's flying, it's like a life or death situation. And the little baby flies, you know, he does it. But that's a high pressure, high pain scenario in order to see if this little guy will succeed. You know, same thing with childbirth. There is an incredible amount of pain before, you know, that life happens and that birth and that growth happens of that, or the birth of that baby. I mean, you know, on a simpler level, grapes, before they become wine, they have to be crushed. Bread, before it's eaten, has to be broken. You know, there's something about that pruning and that refining and that breaking season that produces a really good fruit. So this picture is designed to remind people that are going through that season right now that there is something beautiful that's going to come out on the other side. So to hang in there and It's not all working against you. Like there will be good that will come out of it that will work for you and for those around you. Okay. How you guys doing? All right, so I have one more picture to show, and this one, I'll share the screen first. This one is called The Star Within the Sisters. Here is where we started. These are 5 beautiful friends of mine, and they let me cover them in glitter, in silver glitter all over. I don't know if you can see how covered they are, but they are just covered in just solid glitter all on their backs. And we got it all up in their hair and everywhere. It was a really fun time and very messy. And that's the final product. What I really wanted to show was that just acknowledging that unique beauty and the power and the strength that comes when women stand together, regardless of their age or background or ethnicity or economic status or their current circumstances or belief. When women come together and stand together, there's something infectious about it. There's something beautiful that comes out of that place. And there we go. Whoops. So I hope to communicate that, personally I have 2 amazing, beautiful sisters, an amazing mom, and we all have a good relationship. And I've got remarkable other women in my life that are incredible friendships. And I feel there's a strength that comes within me and that actually brightens the star within me when I am around them, when I am standing beside them and they are using what's inside them to just stand and be. And so this celebrates that, the strength within the sisters of releasing out of us a beautiful light and a contagious lifestyle. So that is the Star Within the Sisters. Okay, well, those are the 7 images from this series that I'm launching. I hope you liked what you saw and what you heard. I love getting to share these with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me. It is such a joy to create art. It's one of my passions, and I love to inspire. I believe that inspired people change the world, and so I want to make art that inspires you to inspire yourself, because being able to inspire yourself is such a strength, and it's such a important tool to have, because you can't just wait for it to hit and strike. Cultivating inspiration in your life, and my prints are designed to help cultivate inspiration where you're at, so that you can live your best life, and so that you can let all of that is in you come out and be heard and be seen, and celebrate that which is coming out of other people. So these are like little visual declarations, little visual vitamins to help launch you into where you're going. I hope you like them. And just a reminder about my party favor, which is buy 2 prints, any size, and you get 1 print for free. So buy 2 from this series, and you can pick any open edition print out on my website, and you get that baby free. That offer expires Friday, tomorrow, May 30th. It expires at 8 p.m. So act fast. Like I said, I rarely give discounts, so this is a very special limited time offer, and I hope that you enjoy it and make the most of it. Meanwhile, continue to follow along on my newsletter. I have started to create more video blogs, kind of like this, where I share behind the scenes of the artwork that I make, and I take you even deeper into Photoshop, show you how I put them together, and I share more of the nuggets and the little secrets that I put inside of them. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this. Keep following along on Instagram at Bite Song Studio, and I will see you on there. All right, have a very inspired day. Go inspire yourself and change the world. Bye-bye.